Well, 6 games into this season, I thought I'd be introing this video by telling you all about our unbeaten start to the season and how we had the Premier League's top scorer. And then remember that run of hard games that was going to start? The run of hard games started. Hello and welcome to part 124 of It's Coming Home. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have 2 home games in the Premier League, at home against Fulham and away against Burnley. Since you were last with me, this is what's been going on. We did have a very, very good start to the season. Ollie Steer has been superb. Cesar Adrio has been even better. We've now confirmed his permanent signing. He joins us permanently in January for just £750,000. He started life in the Premier League with 8 goals from 8 games and an average rating of 7.61. He's only 23 and he's only going to get better. I think round of applause for the director of football for finding this lad and agreeing such a stupidly low future fee as part of his loan. So Cesar Adrio used up the last of our transfer budget. But then things got tricky. Wolves was difficult. Man City was even more difficult. That doesn't really tell the story because we were 4-0 down in that game. We were getting absolutely battered and they just took the foot off the pedal. We did get back into it with a triple substitution in the second half. Matondo coming on and doing Matondo things. And actually at the end, it almost looked like we might get the draw. So we're not pushovers, but we're obviously not competing in the top half of the Premier League properly yet. But this is the situation in the league. We're currently in 11th place after 8 games, 12 points on the board. I would have absolutely bitten your arm off for that at the start of the season. Adrio's still top scorer in the Premier League, level on points with some fella at Man United that we're not going to worry about. Ollie Steer. I'm still assuming, I still haven't seen any feedback from last season because I think this is probably going to be the last of the pre-holiday videos I record, or I might do one more for tomorrow. So I don't know how much you were criticising Ollie Steer. I'm assuming it was a lot, but he's the 3rd best player in the Premier League on a 7.64. 8 games in, 5 goals, 5 assists, 2 Man of the Match awards. My faith in Ollie Steer has been repaid. He is a superstar. 3rd on the assists ratings as well. So we've got a very good strike partnership. We're a good side now, and hopefully we will show that off today. This is the team that we're putting out there for the game against Fulham. We've got Horvat in goal, a back four of Sands, Noble, Van der Horst and Riviere, with Harrison at the base of the midfield, Samuel and Bishop in central midfield. And I tell you what, Bishop is the closest I've ever had to that quarterback position that David Beckham wanted to play for England all those years ago. He just kind of sits there. He doesn't move very much from there, but he just sprays the ball around constantly. It's just spraying for the onrushing fullbacks, for Manu, for the 2 strikers to chase onto. It is an absolute joy to behold. He was worth every penny of that 14 million, even though he's an old man. He's just spraying the ball around constantly. And I think one of the reasons Steer and Adrio have looked so good this season is that Bishop is making them look good. And to finish off, we've obviously got Manu, Steer and Adrio. So let's get into the game against Fulham. I guess at this point, he has to be Adrio. Even if I am saying it wrong, he is Adrio now. It might be Adrio, but I've said it enough times without being corrected. You should have corrected me. You should have travelled through time and corrected me. But no, you didn't. Couldn't be bothered to time travel, could you? Well, there you go. It's your fault I'm saying his name wrong. I expect nothing but a win from this match after our recent run of bad results. I mean, that shows how far we've come. The fact that we're calling 2 defeats, one of which was against Manchester City, a run of bad results after an unbeaten first 6 games of the season. I think we're maybe starting to set slightly higher expectations for ourselves than we had previously. If we end up getting relegated this year, I will be genuinely gutted because I think we're good enough to finish mid-table relatively comfortably. And hopefully that's where we're ending. There's Bishop spraying the ball already. I told you he sprays it. And there he left the centre circle. The man's probably got a nosebleed at this point. But he's trying to chase around and pretend to be a proper midfielder. He's not one. He can't tackle or do any of that other stuff. And that was our downfall there. He moved out of position. Although we're going over to the little telly. Are we getting this goal disallowed? Having this goal disallowed would be delightful. Go on, disallow it. What are we even reviewing it for? Offside? It's been given because we're getting that. I think as soon as you get the replay, that means it's been given. I don't really know what they were looking into. I guess suspicions of offside, but it looks like there wasn't any. So I'll allow it. Fulham can have a goal. We're in free fall all of a sudden. Yikes, 3 defeats on the bounce. We're not going to lose this game. If we lose at home against Fulham, that is a problem because Fulham aren't a great team. This is one of those matches that we would be budgeting to probably pick up 3 points in if we've got realistic expectations of being mid-table-ish. Riviere to Harrison to Bishop. Go on, quarterback it again. Back with Bishop. There you go, look. Doink, over the top to Steer. Perfect pass, Ollie Steer into the hands of the keeper. But Bishop does that all day long. I feel like I've had a player like him before. Did Ashley Hayes used to do that for Nuneaton? I'm seeing a lot of comparisons in my mind between Bishop and Hayes. In fact, didn't we sign Hayes from Southampton as well? Slightly older than the rest of the squad, bit of experience, English, cost a lot of money, looked like a crazy signing, but became a crucial player. I think it's basically the exact same move that we made at this stage with Nuneaton last year, and he used to do the same thing. He's probably the same regen. Steer crosses to nobody. What's Ollie Steer doing there? I've bigged him up before this episode, and now he's making himself look silly. Riviere now. Back to Harrison. Harrison with a lovely bit of quarterbacking, and Adrio has made it 10 in 10, as long as that's been given. No suspicion of offside there at all? No? Excellent stuff. This was a lovely pass from Harrison. Let's just have a look at this from the other angle. So Riviere plays it to Harrison, and that was perfect. And from Adrio, just absurd. How have we got him for less than £1 million? Just utterly ridiculous. And also makes it ridiculous that we spent all that money on Traore, who can't get in the team because we've got the youngster that we bought when we were in the Championship and the loanee that we've just confirmed for 750,000 in ahead of him. Noble. Now he's trying his luck at a ball over the top. Steer is in. Steer forces another save. I think the home lump is back, but now we do it with finesse. The home lump finesse edition. Corner comes in. It ends up with Manu. Manu plays it to Bishop. Bishop, did a pass along the ground to someone nearby. That's not like him at all. I think that's a different man playing there today. Weirdly, just controlling the game by knocking these long passes around constantly doesn't seem to get him a particularly good rating. He's not averaging very highly at all. But I don't think it's recording his contribution to the build-up play enough. We've been the better team here. Let's go on and win this match. I guess I probably need to do the announcement about the schedule as well, which I meant to do before the video and forgot. But we are moving this series into the 4 o'clock slot starting on Monday. I won't spoil why for those of you who are behind on the other series. But home is at 4 o'clock from now on. You'll just draw from that what you will. I think we're probably going to do 7 days a week. I haven't decided yet because I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do anything to replace non-league to legend. Steer is in behind again. He's had that same chance 3 times in this game. If he doesn't score it the next time he gets it, he's coming off because it's just silly. In fact, he's coming off now. He's having a terrible game. Ollie Steer has missed a bunch of sitters. We've got Harris, Kano, Matondo, Traore, 4 strikers on the bench. Well, this says Kano. So I guess he gets the nod because that's who my assistant manager thinks is the man to come on. And who am I to argue? I don't think we need 4 strikers on the bench. I don't think we need 6 first-team quality strikers at the club. We probably need to move 2 of them on. And that is worrying for Matondo and Harris. Harris can't leave. Right, we're going to take Samuel off and bring Torres on in midfield. Get a bit more energy into our midfield. But yes, home is going to be 4 o'clock every weekday, 11 o'clock on Saturdays and Sundays probably. We are going to have another home video tomorrow as well. And then on Monday, moving into that 4 o'clock slot, Adrio hits the post. And we'll push on from there. The other announcement I probably should have made before the video started is that the shirts are only on sale for 1 more day. If you want a home shirt and you haven't yet got one, Traore has the advantage of being able to play there. So that's my justification for him being on the bench. If you are in the market for a home shirt and you haven't ordered one yet, you've got until midnight tomorrow night, if you're watching this video, when it first comes out. Sunday, the 2nd of June at midnight, they go off sale. Potentially forever. It really depends on how many we've sold. To give you a little trip behind the curtain, the company who make them, they'll decide if we can do another run, and it'll be based on whether or not they've made enough money doing it, basically. If we've sold enough shirts for them to justify the print run, and it's financially worth it for them to make the shirts, then we'll get another run at some point, which we'll probably do at the end of the series. But if they haven't sold enough this time, they might not ever be available again. So yeah, if you want one, I would act now rather than waiting, because the chance might be gone, and order it slightly bigger than what you'd normally order. I initially ordered a 3XL because I normally wear a 2XL. It was too tight. I've now got 5XL home shirts and they fit lovely. But unless you're a big fat guy like me, you probably don't need to go to that extreme, because there are plenty of people who've ordered them in their size and they're fitted, but I would suggest go up at least one size. Right, let's go and beat Burnley. We need to get back to winning ways. Well, one international break later, and we've got a game in hand all of a sudden. So with a Monday night game against Burnley, who we could actually go above if we beat them, which would take us all the way up to 8th, which would be mad. I don't know how good Burnley are, so I don't know how likely that is to happen. We're not making any changes to our team because I think we did play quite well in that last game. I think this team is starting to take shape as my first choice team, but I'm still not entirely sure what to do about this abundance of strikers that we have. I think we probably need to move one or two of them on. Right, we owe Burnley. Love a bit of revenge. If anyone would like to buy Shadney Matondo off me, offers in excess of £10 million, welcome. I think he's worth that. I'm just not playing him because I think we've got to. At the end of the day, Adrio's already got as many goals this season as Matondo got last season, so it's possibly slightly unfair because he's playing in a much better team, a much more creative team than Matondo was. So Matondo could well score just as many goals in this team. The reason I'm going with Adrio and Steer, it could be as simple as they were the two who were in the team when we started playing well. I mean, that is kind of what happened. I mentioned it in the last episode. I was kind of randomly selecting the strikers, and we stumbled across this one as the partnership that seems to be working so far. If one of these two drops out of form, we'll then go back into randomly choosing who to bring into the team again, I guess, because I don't know who my next best striker is. After these two, is it Traore, is it Matondo, is it Kano, is it Harris? No idea. Absolutely no idea how to rank my strikers at the moment. So it's kind of all random. The star ratings don't help because they're all 3-star current ability players, all 6 of them. I think we've got 6 strikers who are all pretty good. But it doesn't matter because we're 1-0 down. So let's not worry about our strikers and worry about getting back into this game. Ollie Steer gave the ball away there. Not Noah Okafor. Oh, it's not Noah Okafor. It's some other Okafor. That's all right then. As long as it isn't my Okafor, I can live. They're coming at us again here. Noble heads clear to Manu. And Bishop doing his ball over the top again. Ollie Steer takes it down beautifully, but it was a little slow. The 2 defenders managed to catch up with him and block his shot before he managed to get it out from under his feet. Half time, we're 1-0 down. Let's assertively owe Burnley now. We only calmly owed them before. I don't think we necessarily need to make any changes. Although obviously, if we're not creating any chances, we know we can change up the whole front three really, because Traore can play as the attacking midfielder as we saw in the last match. So we could potentially bring all 3 of those on. Traore, Matondo, Harris could all come on and will all come on if we feel like we need them. Bishop plays it out to Riviere. Riviere shoots when you could argue cross would have been better. There was 3 men lining up to tuck away the chance from the cross. We're having 10 minutes of passion just before substitute o'clock. Ollie Steer's afraid of you lot. How mean were you while I was on holiday? Goodness me. We'll take Steer off. See, my assistant manager isn't even helping now. You're on your own, Kev. Let's try Traore up there, because Traore hasn't had an opportunity up front yet. So let's get him up there. Samuel can come off for Torres again for midfield energies. And let's get creative. We need a goal. A draw here is fine. I'll be very happy with a draw, because I think Burnley probably are a better team than us. Obviously, they came up with us. They were better than us then. Perhaps this is a game. It's certainly not a game we should be losing. Adrio's not playing very well either. We'll bring Matondo on for him. And then I think I'm going to demand more. Where are we? Demand more for the last 10 minutes. They're focused and we have a corner. Why is Van der Horst taking the corner? Usually when it stops like that, it means penalty, but apparently not. Van der Horst again. It's the wrong man to be on the end of that, really. The wrong man taking the corner. I still need to fiddle with my set-piece instructions, clearly. I think I said that in the last video too. Burnley coming at us again, and we're going to let them score again, aren't we? Oh, they've sliced us open there. We've won a free kick. I guess offside. That's why they were able to slice through us like that. But we've not really offered very much going forward in this game. This is now 4 games without a win. The good start is starting to drift away a little bit. We're still ahead of the Kev ratio because we started so well, but we do need to be aware that if we're not careful, because this isn't a reasonable looking run of games again. Fulham, Burnley, Brighton, West Ham, Everton, Millwall, but then it gets hard again. Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United all in there. So we need another burst of good performances to take account of those ones. Bottom line, the goal is still stay in the Premier League this year. So as long as we stay ahead of the Kev ratio and stay away from this mess that's going on down here, we're all right. But 4 games without a win is a bit of a worry that hopefully we'll fix before the next episode. And we'll be back somewhere around here, I guess. It's 3 games in a month in November. We don't play a lot of football because there's so much European stuff going on. So we'll be back sort of early to mid-December, and then again at the end of the transfer window. That seems like a good place to put the next 2 episodes. And then, fingers crossed, as well as a mid-table finish, we'll have an FA Cup run in the second half of the season, because I think it's time we won a trophy. Let's just focus on staying in the Premier League. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.